This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of the hosts, Tom.
And I'm the other host, Tim.
How are you doing this week, Tim?
Tom, I'm doing all right, but I feel like I need a change.
Okay, your diaper?
No, I don't wear diapers, Tom. You ever... Look, I've never pooped my pants as an adult.
Okay.
Have you? I feel like it's more common...
As an adult?
No, than people are willing to admit. So I want to get it out there. Never happened to me.
I can think of 2 times it's happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate at all?
I'll elaborate on one. What the... That we're like not even a minute into the episode.
You're the one who brought up diapers, Tom.
That's true. I guess I have nobody to blame but myself.
I was going to talk about how I want an extreme makeover, but you talk about when you pooped your pants.
They used to at college. They used to put like laxative in the eggs. So
Who, the bullies?
No,
the jocks?
No, the lunch ladies.
The Animal House guys?
No, they would put laxative in the eggs.
The deltas?
So if there was like food poisoning, it wouldn't work because, everybody would poop it out before it could cause any damage. That's what I heard from the scientists on campus.
The scientists on campus?
The science majors on campus.
That cannot be true.
I heard it from a bunch of people, a bunch of places.
That is the most absurd.
Well, and then I'm also going to tell you, Tim, that one time I had the eggs. And I forget what happened, but like somebody came and knocked on the door, and I was talking to them for a minute. And I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And I was wearing shorts. And I had pooped my pants without even knowing it, and it just ran down.
Yeah, you want to blame the fact that they put laxatives in all the. Did they put laxatives in all the food?
No, just the eggs. I think.
But the
eggs could be bad for you if they're bad.
So could meat.
Yeah, but it's less chance of that.
What?
I'm just telling you, this is the only time that I've pooped my pants or otherwise where like I didn't know it was happening. So that's
it was college. Were you on drugs?
No, I wasn't on drugs. I didn't do drugs in college.
You did some drugs in college.
I didn't maybe no. I mean, yeah, maybe I smoked weed once in a while, but I was an RA, Tim. I couldn't do that in my dorm.
A resident advisor?
Narc? I was the one everybody looked up to. I was the hall role model.
The respected man of the floor.
Yeah. No, I mean, I drank a bunch, but I rarely smoked, and I never did anything else.
Yeah.
I was too afraid of anything else.
Never done drugs. Afraid of drugs.
We should do drugs sometime.
No.
Tim, you got to live once.
I'm so happy that I never did drugs. I hear people and people that are more successful than me talk about all the drugs they used to
Well, maybe that's what did it for them, Tim. But anyway, yeah, it was the only time in my life I've ever pooped without knowing it, and I happen to have my pants on. So that's why I'm liable to believe the laxative story, because nobody knew this happened. Like, I swept it under the rug. Not literally.
I'd like to interrogate the person who came to your door to see what they knew.
I think it was like a solicitor or something, somebody selling things.
What the hell school did you go to that they let salesmen just knock on the students' doors?
I think I said to him, like, "Hey, I'm an RA, like you guys," because we would have to like walk them out. But then I realized that I had pooped my pants. So I was like, you got to get out of here. You can see yourself out, sir.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you the dignity of being walked out. You have to walk out alone.
Right.
Now, if you'll excuse me,
yeah.
I have to clean the shit off my floor.
Yeah. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to investigate what that peculiar odor is.
What was the other time?
I'm not telling you.
I thought I could pull a Howard Stern.
Yeah, well, you're no Howard, Tim.
I am no Howard.
Anyway, you were going to talk about something else. You need to make a change.
I was thinking about how I'd like to have a makeover.
I thought you just said you want a makeover.
No, I want.
Oh, you want a makeover?
Yeah, I'd love to win one. If I'm not aware of
You
any
want a
of them.
regular makeover or an extreme makeover?
Let's split the difference.
A moderate makeover?
Yeah, I want it to be significant, but I
Right.
don't want like liposuction or
Now, are
something.
you
Like I don't want any surgical.
Okay.
Right.
You want the kind of makeover that can be done in a day, or like a months long makeover?
I'd like a plan at least.
Okay.
You know, I'd like to
Like a makeover, and then here, follow this plan.
Yeah,
and by
exactly.
The end of
Maybe
it,
we
you'll
sit down, me and a stylist, with a
What do you-
computer,
Okay.
and they have a picture of my head, my face, and then also a full body shot, and then they
Right.
show me options of like what kind of guy I could be.
What kind of bodies you could have?
No clothing.
Okay.
I think
See, you're talking about like in the movie Clueless, she had that Cher had
the
that
computer.
Yeah, the
I tried.
computer that showed her the different outfits she could wear.
Can I tell you something dumb?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen the movie Clueless,
Yeah.
and whenever I say that, people go, "What?"
Yeah.
So
I've seen the movie Clueless. Like it was one of those movies that was on HBO all the time.
Yeah, I didn't have
I've
HBO
seen it
as
a
a
million
kid.
times.
I didn't have HBO as a kid. I didn't see a naked lady on a screen.
She
until,
wasn't
like,
naked. She was wearing her
No,
underwear.
just anything. Because like all you HBO people, you were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I saw Species this weekend."
I
It's like,
saw
well-
Species this weekend.
I never saw that movie
Yeah.
because I didn't have HBO.
Natasha Henstridge, I believe was her name.
Yeah,
Was the
she
Species?
slicked her hair back.
Yeah. Well, she was an alien. She had to.
It's all full of goo, like alien goo.
Yeah, it was. It was like gooey.
Mhm.
She had to mate with a human man.
Yeah, to keep the
aliens
species
going. Yeah,
Yeah.
the species.
No, I want.
In that movie, the first guy that she has sex with, like she's on top of him, and they finish.
Tom,
Well, listen, and like they finish, and she's
that was
like,
an R-rated movie. This is not an R-rated.
and then she's like, she feels her belly, and she's like, "Oh, it worked. I'm pregnant." And the guy's like, "What?" But she is. He doesn't know she's an alien.
Does she kill him after that?
Yeah, I think so. I think immediately after.
Yeah.
I think spikes come out of her back, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, like King Koopa.
Yeah, similar.
I tried watching Clueless,
Mhm.
and after like 15 minutes, it's like I can't watch.
Yeah, I
this.
mean nowadays, like if you don't have nostalgia for it,
Yeah,
I'm sure
there's no reason for this.
it doesn't
Yeah.
hold up.
No, I'm thinking more. Yeah, clothing, facial hair, haircut.
Personality.
That'll follow. Once I have the right look, people will start treating me with
It's a lot
respect.
of work.
I won't be starting from a deficit, like trying to dig myself out of a hole. When
Uh-huh.
somebody's like,
What kind of things do you think they would do to you? I guess if you knew the kinds of things, then you
I
could
could do it
yourself.
myself. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
So you would just place your trust in somebody's hands?
Yeah, an expert though.
Okay.
And clothing.
Uh-huh.
But here's what I want. Tom.
Start wearing flashier stuff.
No. Start wearing more muted things.
You wear very muted things.
Yeah, but
everything you're wearing right now is like a pale blue.
Yeah, or gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want I want elegant stuff. I want crew neck sweatshirts. They can be in
Tim,
different colors.
It doesn't matter what somebody puts you in. Nobody's ever gonna say like, "Oh, Tim looks so elegant. Look at that elegant shirt he's wearing."
I don't know. You'd be surprised, Tom.
Crew neck. What'd you say?
Sweatshirts.
Okay.
Yeah, like solid colored crew neck sweatshirts.
Is that what you're wearing?
No, I'm wearing a sweater, like a dope.
What's the difference?
A sweatshirt is different from. Look, it's cooler, Tom.
How so?
I don't know. It'll be. I don't even know the name of the cotton. I want to say
Yeah. That's not a cotton sweater?
terry cloth.
Terry cloth?
No, that's
No,
not.
you won't wear it. That's like what they make robes out of.
Yeah, maybe I'll
You
be a
wanna be
robe guy.
Hugh Hefner?
The computer will tell me, and I can evaluate from there. And then the computer will be
computer
like,
has told us you are the 21st century Hugh Hefner.
exactly. Here's a pipe.
Yeah, robes and 3 girlfriends.
Yeah, 3 girlfriends that are 40 years younger than you and disgusted by you. And yeah, I just want I want them to show me what I look like 5 to 10 pounds lighter with the right clothes. Do something with my facial hair. Glasses, I need somebody to advise me on my glasses. If I should get LASIK, I'm happy to do it. I don't know. Some people say like, you've had glasses for so long that you'd look weird without glasses.
Right.
Sucks. I never wanted to be in that position, but here I am.
You haven't even had glasses all that long, as far as I'm
I've had
concerned.
glasses for a decade.
Yeah, that's not that long.
No.
Sometimes babies have glasses.
I know, nerd babies.
Oh, look, Tim. It's tough being a baby if you need glasses.
Yeah, and they have to be like those stretchy glasses.
Yeah, well, because you can't give a baby like glasses. They'll break them.
Just tell a baby to cool
You
it.
can't tell a baby to
Parenting isn't that hard, Tom.
All right.
Do you want to go get makeovers?
No,
Do they have
I'm
like computer
fine.
guys?
I thought you were gonna say, did they have like friends makeovers?
We could go. I mean, that might be a fun excursion.
There's not like a place you can go for makeovers.
I
think it's a
there
TV thing.
Well, then let's figure it out.
Let's audition to be on a TV show.
We could do it for this, Tom. We could get makeovers and then talk about
Nobody
it.
even knows what we look about like.
We look about. Look, we'll post them on Instagram, and we'll tell people to go to Instagram.
And say, here, look at us. Look at us before we get makeovers.
Yeah, the before and after, Tom.
And then the after will be us wearing like
sunglasses,
shark skin suits and sunglasses.
Maybe if that's what
And
we determine
we'll both
is
have
optimal.
mustaches now.
Yeah, look, they're gonna have to reinforce the butt on whatever pants they give you, whatever leather pants, just to make sure you don't poop all over them. Tom, now that we've talked about pooping our pants, or you pooping your pants as an adult, I don't think I've done it since I was a baby. And getting makeovers is a perfect topic. Date night.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of us will be going on dates. Not me, but are you going to go out for Valentine's Day? Is that too personal of a question?
No.
It's a Friday night. It stinks.
Oh, yeah. I hope to. I've looked into the possibility of that, and it seems like I've looked into it too late. We should mention this was suggested by Valentine Jones, I think is the name.
Yeah, on Patreon.
On Patreon, we asked our Patreon subscribers.
Yeah, did I say Patreon? Patreon.
Yeah, for suggestions, and we got a ton. Thank you very much.
Claire McGregor also said dating. So
okay, well, she didn't say it first.
I think she might.
Valentine did. Well, he said actually, yeah, I think it's a he, maybe a she.
$20 dates.
Yeah, they said, Valentine's Day is coming up, which got me thinking Valentine's Day is coming up. And what are some cheap dates under $20? We're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about.
We're run the gamut here.
Look, everything from cheapskates to millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not millionaires.
Millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Valentine's Day, and this isn't going to be only Valentine's Day dates, so there's it's Valentine's Day stinks, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's an invented, it's a Hallmark holiday.
You should only do something for Valentine's Day if you think your partner is going to break up with you. Otherwise, like, do something a couple days after or the day before or something where it's not an obligation. It means more when it's not like, okay, well, I'm obligated to do this, so let's go do this.
I don't think so. I mean, you get presents on Christmas. You're not like, oh, it would mean more if you gave me these presents 2 days ago.
That's because that's the day that the big man decides to deliver them, man.
Well, this is the day the little man decides to shoot people with his arrow.
Cupid. I thought the little man was going to be you in that. Like, the little man decides to take somebody out for dinner.
Whenever I ever referred to myself as the little man.
Compared to Santa?
Yeah, I am a little man.
How tall is Santa? Do we know?
I'm gonna guess he's like 5'10". I don't think he's especially
No,
tall.
I think canonically he's like 6'3".
No way. That's how is he gonna get down a chimney if he's that big?
How magic? He's got flying reindeer.
That's true. I don't know. A lot of questions. Anyway,
you disagree that Valentine's Day is
look,
you know it's a scam. Why would you knowingly participate in a scam? My wife loves me, by the way.
I tell her this every Valentine's
Tom,
Day.
you sound just like my wife.
Every Valentine's Day, she gives me a gift, and I say, "Why'd you do this? You know it's a scam." And then
we'll eat these chocolates, but
right.
under protest.
Man, I'll tell you what. Going to the local Dwayne Reed or CVS the day after Valentine's Day, get some good chocolate deals.
I don't need good chocolate deals.
I'm crazier about chocolate today than I've ever been.
I think chocolate is priced accordingly because I'm a monster and I don't want...
This is a way to subvert the system, Tim. Society says you should only be able to eat so much chocolate based on your income. This is a way to double that chocolate, if not more.
Yeah. I mean, chocolate, I remember one time, I'm not sure if it was on the show or in regular life that you were bemoaning the fact that candy bars are too expensive these days. I think this was just a normal conversation.
Oh, don't get me started.
Bad for you.
And these fun sizes are anything but nowadays. They've gotten so small that it's laughable.
No, you've just gotten bigger, Tom.
No, I'm telling you, look, you're going to get inundated with people telling you you're wrong because these fun sizes are ridiculous nowadays.
You know what? That's probably all that we should be eating.
Yeah, I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
I will say this about Valentine's chocolates and stuff. It's great because that's kind of what you want. You want just like a bite of chocolate.
Yeah.
And you want it to be varied. You want a little difference. Because I am not, I mean, I guess it's bad because then I'll just eat all the chocolate hearts. But like, I am not the kind of guy, I love chocolate, but I get sick of it pretty quickly. Like, I cannot just like go to town on a Hershey's bar. It'll be like, nah, I want like a few pieces. And then after that, I'm like,
By the way, Tom,
mm-hmm.
Take 5, the best candy bar, criminally underrepresented everywhere. The Reese's should be ashamed of themselves.
Hershey's is the parent corporation.
Hershey's, Reese's.
Hershey's put the Reese's name on to try and get. What do you think about these people that say Reese's?
They're the worst.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not spelled like feces.
And it's supposed to rhyme with pieces.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces, not. But sometimes
Reese's Pieces.
Sometimes I think people say that.
You're delusional.
They should put those people in jail.
They really should lock them up.
I mean, they didn't intend for it to rhyme with pieces, but that's why they named Pieces because it rhymes with Reese's.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, Take 5, the best candy bar out there.
Yeah.
Finally, they smartened up. They bought a
Super Bowl ad.
Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
I
stood up and cheered.
I really did, and
You texted me right away.
Yeah, it confused everyone. Well, here's the thing: I was in a room with a ton of people, and I was like, "Hey, finally, right, guys?" And everybody was just like, "What? What's happening?"
Well, I mean, and there you go. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Well, Tom will care." And I went to the bathroom and texted you.
I was wondering why you seem so upset too.
Yeah. So anyway,
but Valentine's Day, I've never gone all out on Valentine's Day.
No.
No, never like a crazy thing. But I think it's like nice to do something like a little bit nice.
What was the most you ever did? I can tell you the Valentine's Day that I did. It was in college. I went to a dinner in Little Italy.
Ooh,
because that's
romantic.
Yeah, I was 19.
Yeah,
and then we went and sat in the last row in The Lion King on Broadway because those were the only tickets I could afford.
Okay, that's not bad.
It was fine.
Yeah,
I mean, neither of us were really interested in The Lion King.
Right.
But it was the theater. I think I wore nicer shoes than I normally wore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Look, I made an effort.
Yeah.
And that was the one and only time I ever made an effort on Valentine's Day.
One time I was dating somebody that I worked with, unbeknownst to
Always a great idea, by the way.
Well, Tim, we kept it a secret from everybody else at work, and her ex-boyfriend sent her like this gigantic bouquet of flowers.
What?
Yeah, and that was awkward.
Oh, at work?
Yeah.
So
at
you
work.
couldn't even say anything.
No, so I had to be like, "Oh, you got flowers? Who are those from?" And we had to pretend like we were just work chums, but I knew.
Wow. Were you like, I'll fucking kill him, not for any reason.
It's not appropriate in the workplace is all it is. But that's something that happened to me, not something I did.
Yeah, you didn't do anything nice.
No. No, I've never done anything like
I've sent my wife flowers on her birthday at work, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know. The Valentine's Day flowers, I don't know. It just seems thirsty.
I think you're using that phrase wrong.
Well, no, maybe if you're dating and you're afraid they're going to break up with you.
Right.
Like, it just seems like a desperation move.
Well, it seems like
Like
a little like staking out your like, hey, everybody that works with my partner, they're taken.
It feels insecure. Not insecure, right?
Yeah. Although I don't know.
That's how I justify not doing nice
because
things.
I think sometimes people want flowers sent to them at work. So it depends on the person. Some people want that, and they want everybody to see, oh, look, somebody loves me.
I'm somebody's. I'm taken.
Yeah, I'm somebody.
I'm somebody's property.
But yeah, normally I have done like lower key things, I guess. Make dinner. Maybe go out for dinner.
Tortellini?
No.
What's your go-to dinner to make? A chicken cacciatore or something?
No.
What is chicken cacciatore? Is that only in cartoons?
I think so. I don't know. I don't have like a go-to. I guess maybe like a pasta is usually good. That's like a sexy meal to eat. It feels very
Don't
heavy.
ever say that word in my presence ever again.
Feels very heavy afterwards. But let's talk about not just Valentine's Day, Tim. All types of dates.
Okay.
All varieties of dates.
All right.
Do you want to talk about all varieties or cheap dates first?
Tom, you're steering the ship. You're the dating master.
I mean, probably all you have to talk about are cheap dates. That's probably the only type you've been on.
The hell are you trying to say?
Trying to say you're a cheapskate that's only been on cheap dates.
I've been on like 3 dates in my entire life. Is it a date if my wife and I go out to dinner?
Is it a date if it's a wedding?
No, is it a date?
Yeah, that's a date.
Then anything we do?
No,
is it
not
a date
anything
if we go to the
you
movies?
Do. Yeah.
Is it a date if we go to the grocery store?
Mm-mm.
Is it a date if we walk to a coffee shop and then drop off our compost at the farmer's market?
Yeah, it could be. That's like a...
Is it a date if we walk to the subway in the morning before work?
No, that's not a date. I would classify a date as you and a romantic partner or a potential romantic partner going and doing something purely for the enjoyment of doing it.
Okay.
Not because it's a task or a chore or something that has to be done.
But if I have to eat and we go to dinner...
Yeah, no, look, I mean...
It's because neither of us wants to cook.
No, I would say if you're going to dinner, if it's because you have to eat and you're starving, like if you go to McDonald's with your wife in an airport restaurant, that's not a date because that's just a necessity. We're both hungry. We're traveling. We have to eat.
What if we're not traveling, but we go to the McDonald's at the airport?
Well, you can't get through security.
We buy tickets.
Oh, and then refund them?
Yeah. No, sometimes we don't.
Okay. That would be. I would say that's a date.
Guess what? Is that a cheap date?
No, that's a very expensive.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Foolishly expensive date, actually.
Yeah, guess what? Some of us have money to burn, and we're proud of it.
But
I do it as a flex, Tom.
I would say even if you went to McDonald's as just a like, hey, let's go to McDonald's tonight. Not like, oh, we got done doing something else and we're starving and we have to stop at McDonald's. But if it's like, hey, let's go to McDonald's tonight. Let's make it a McDonald's night. That's a date.
Oh, this is good. I've been on many dates, Tom.
Oh, okay, good. I would hope
Not
so.
to McDonald's, really. Neither of us eat meat, and there's
Right.
nothing really for us there.
No.
But we have gone to Burger King and Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Burger King's got the Impossible Whopper. I can't say enough positive things about that.
It's a great sandwich.
Yeah.
I've gone on a date where we went to Burger King and got Impossible Whoppers and then took him to the park and had a nice picnic.
Yeah.
That's a
A
date.
Whopper in the park.
Yeah.
Classic. You also got a Burger King taco.
Yeah, that time I got a Burger King taco because it was $1.
Yeah.
And boy, it's not even worth $1.
No.
It was just real bad.
Tom, one time I went to
They
Taco
cooked the whole thing, I think, together. Like the shell, it was a hard shell, but it was like soft and like semi-transparent. It was like if you took a Taco Bell taco and put it, and it was cold, and you put it in a microwave. Like that's what it turned into.
I mean, that's
it
exactly
probably
what
was,
happened.
Yeah.
I know this isn't possible, but it's like they heated up. Yeah.
But it sucked.
Yeah. I went. This isn't important, but I went to Taco Bell and got a Crunchwrap Supreme. What?
You've already told me about this. I didn't care the first time.
Forget it. They didn't have lettuce, and it fundamentally changed the way it messed up the textures, and apparently the lettuce is a very important texture. And also Taco Bell, you're running out of lettuce? The hell?
There might have been like an E. coli outbreak or something.
I'm sorry I told you about that twice, Tom.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the listener, Tim.
I don't think I said it. I think I said that in real life to you.
What?
The no lettuce on the Crunchwrap thing.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. So you
but
heard
now
it twice.
I'm saying I heard it twice, but now
you know what?
everybody's
People can hear that once, and it's fine because it's a word
A
of caution.
cautionary
Yeah,
tale.
exactly. If they say there's no, you go and say I'll have a black bean crunch wrap at Taco Bell, and they go no lettuce. Is that okay? And you think, yeah, who gives a crap
bad
about
could it be?
lettuce? Yeah, lettuce is the worst food on earth. You get it. It's not bad, but it's missing that. I don't know.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, I was gonna say zhuzh.
Anyway, we were talking about dates.
Mhm.
You were asking to clarify what a date is,
Yeah.
and I clarified.
Okay.
With that clarification, what are some of your go-to dates for date night? What's date night with Tim like? Paint a picture for the listeners' minds.
Sometimes we'll go to a movie. And I'll use my Regal app
To do what?
to buy the tickets. I've gained a lot of Regal points.
You got to use them or else you lose them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, crap.
I lost a bunch
Yeah.
recently.
I want to get like mini posters of movies that I like.
Here's
They
the
sell out quick.
I think some of these never even go up online.
Mm.
A word of advice: start using those points to get tickets and soft drinks and popcorn.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, actually, I will say this:
A
Jesus,
popcorn upgrade just seems like such a not fun.
I'll tell you what you can do. It's unorthodox, but it works. You can redeem for a free small popcorn and then use a free upgrade.
Ah, you
And
get a
it
medium.
works.
Okay.
The man behind the counter one day was like, it blew his mind.
Wow.
He was
I
like,
have them scan my thing every time, even when they don't say like,
Yeah,
"Are you a
you
member?"
earn.
Yeah.
You are a member.
Yeah.
You can say that proudly. Yes, I am a member.
No, sometimes they don't ask, so I have to be like, "I'm a member of the Regals Rewards," and they're like, "Oh." It's like, "Can I scan my thing?" And they're like, "Yeah, I think that's how it works." Nobody's really clear on how the thing works.
I would assume it's one of those things where they're like they tell everyone nothing. Everybody that works there, like nothing else matters except asking people if they're a Regal Rewards member,
Yeah.
and if they're not, signing them up for it.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly their top priority is certainly not like, "Hey, keep in mind that people that a movie's gonna start at a certain time,
Right.
and that people don't want to miss the beginning of the movie,
Yeah,
so
that
like
people
just
people
keep
get
the line
to
moving.
people generally get to the movies a few minutes before the movie
Yeah.
starts.
Not with like 45 minutes to spare.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's generally my wife's favorite part of the date, when they're scanning my Regal app.
That's when she really swoons.
Yeah. And then another date that we go on a lot is this restaurant near us.
Mm-hmm.
We go there. Does this count as a date?
Okay.
Sitting on the couch at home
Mm-hmm.
and looking at your phones for a couple hours.
No, that doesn't count as a date.
Ah,
That's something you would do regardless of whether
I don't know.
if your wife wasn't there, you would do something different.
I feel like I'd be like, I'm wasting my time, but it's like, oh, I'm wasting my time together. We're wasting our time.
Have you ever verbalized that to your wife?
What do you mean?
Like, hey, isn't this something?
Sometimes I'll be like, hey, did you see this picture of our friend's kid on Instagram? I just saw that.
Yeah.
Funny, right? Yeah, it's funny. That's the kind of conversation.
Yeah, that's
we
not
have.
a date.
Sometimes in the summertime,
Mm-hmm.
we'll go to a Walgreens or a CVS
Uh-huh.
and browse the aisles there. They usually are like pumping the air
Yeah,
conditioning.
yeah.
And it's nice to do after a long, hot day in the sun. You're just walking around. See, it's bright in there. There's a lot of colors.
It's bright. Sometimes we just like to go somewhere real bright.
Yeah, bright
That's
and cold
inside.
and colorful. Yeah.
Boy, that's really skirting the line of what a date is, Tim.
No, because we don't buy anything. We're just there to enjoy each other's company.
It sounds like you're there to enjoy the free air conditioning.
Yeah, but when you go
Together.
to the park, it's like, oh, you're just enjoying the grass and the fresh air. Yeah.
Well, that's good for you.
What's bad about a pharmacy, Tom? There's medicine there.
Because
That's
they're
good for you.
pumping all that Freon into the ozone layer.
Yeah. Those are pretty much the dates that I go on.
Huh.
You want to know what dates I used to go on?
Oh, you used to go on dates?
Back in the day, like a classic date was drink until you almost black out.
Yeah, I've been on those dates,
Yeah.
those kinds of dates. Not with you. Actually, I have been on those kinds of dates with
Does
you.
that count as a date? And that's pretty much it. That's all I did that I used to do.
Yeah, like as a teenager and in college.
Yeah, I was bad at dating.
The idea nowadays that like people in college like download apps to date is insane. Good for them.
Yeah.
Because like that thought would have never even crossed my mind when I was in college. Like the idea of like meeting somebody to date was just not like an idea I had.
So wait, what? Explain more.
No, like meeting somebody for the first time with the intention of like we're gonna go out on a date and see if we can be a couple together. Like that would have
Right.
scared the hell out of me. It was like, no, I'm gonna like become friends with you, and then maybe that friendship will turn into something else, which was the wrong approach.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying good for them going out on dates nowadays. Because then, like, once I was, like, dating people, it's like, well, we'll go to Chipotle. Maybe we'll go to a movie. And then maybe we'll just get, like, very, very dangerously drunk.
Yeah. It's weird that movies are an acceptable date.
Movies are a terrible first date.
Yeah.
Like, I've never gone on a first date to a movie because that's nuts to me. Because you're going to meet somebody for the first time and be like, cool, now let's sit next to each other silently for 2 hours and see if we can get like a feel for each other based on just sitting in close proximity. And then also, neither of us is going to pay attention to the movie. We're both going to be obsessed with like what's going on here, good or bad.
Oh, that never occurred to me.
No?
No. Mostly because I don't know. I like to watch movies.
Right.
I think it might be a good first date, depending on the movie, right? Because if you go, I don't know, if you go and see like Parasite, I think you could tell a lot about somebody's personality
based on the reaction.
Yeah.
Well, and then you have something to talk about afterwards.
Yeah.
But I've never found problems talking.
Yeah, we all know, Tom.
All right, here's what I want to do. I want to talk about types of dates, because look, there's only like so many types of dates, and talk about which are good and bad for like first dates or early dates, and then like once you're dating somebody, once you're, you know, in a relationship with somebody.
Once you're hot and heavy.
Right. Or maybe not hot and heavy anymore. Maybe the spark's gone.
Okay.
So we'll start with movies. Like I'll basically recap what I just said. Movies, I feel like, are a terrible first date.
Right.
Not terrible early date, but a bad first date.
Mm-hmm.
But once you're dating somebody, they're a great date because sometimes you run out of things to talk with that person about.
It's just like, shut up. Just shut up.
No, I'm saying...
For 90 minutes, just quit yapping. Is that what you think,
No, I'm saying that you both see a movie together and then you got something to talk about afterwards.
Are you like, yeah, we all appreciate that women have opinions, but come on, right? That's what you
No,
said?
I'm literally saying the opposite of you can go to a movie and then you can talk about your opinions and your thoughts about it afterwards.
Right.
Dinner, I think, is a good first date, or it's a good later date.
What's a good first date then?
I'll get to it.
Oh Jesus! Isn't the premise of this that it's what the good first date is? Or are you just saying?
But I'm going through the list here of types of dates.
Mm-hmm.
First date, it's a good first date if you can pull it off. I would get nervous during dates. And I couldn't eat. I would throw up.
Really?
I wouldn't throw up.
Did you poop your pants? They put laxatives in the steak.
It's kind of tough. I don't like people looking at me eating.
Can you imagine pooping your pants on a date and just be like, listen, Beverly, you know, they put laxatives. Everybody knows this. They put laxatives in the food. So in case there's a food poisoning situation, you shit it out before.
Yeah, so don't be surprised if either of us shits ourselves later in the evening. I went on an early date once where the couple next to us, the two people next to us, were on a date. And they were talking about an internet celebrity who I will not name.
Jake Paul?
No, it was somebody a lot less famous than Jake Paul.
Joe Rogan?
No, a lot less famous than. Stop guessing. I'm not going to tell you. But the guy had been there was a guy and a girl, and the guy had been on a date with this celebrity, and he literally goes like, he's like, have you ever dated a celebrity? And his date was like, no. He's like, oh, yeah, I went on a date with this person. She was like, he said the name, and she was like, oh, I don't know who that is. And he's like, oh, you don't know who that is? And then, like, he started telling her, and she's like, oh, okay. And then he just proceeded to, like, talk through the entire date, and then went right from that into talking about him dating an older woman who he woke up in her bed the next day to, like, her teenage daughter waking him up. And this whole time, his date has not said a word. And me and my date are just sitting there like, this is insane. This guy is telling the worst.
Wait, this was a first date for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it sounded like it was a first date for them.
No, that'd be an amazing first date. Just listening to eavesdropping together on a train.
Yeah,
ride,
I mean, it
and
was.
just being like, hey, we hate the same kind of person.
Oh, absolutely. It was an early date
Hmm.
between me and my girlfriend. So yeah, it was definitely like a bonding of like, oh, there's an understanding between both of us that we're gonna stop talking so we can just focus all of our attention on listening to this horrific date next to us. So that's dinner. Sometimes a good first date, don't talk too much about other dates you've been on. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to
Right.
hear it.
Okay.
Uh,
Nice.
the next one I feel like is the most common one, and that one is drinks.
Drink. That might be the most common in New York City, Tom. Big City
Yeah.
Tom thinks that's the most common, but I don't know if that's true in Middle America.
What do you think is the most common one? Don't say something like offensive, like going to the state pig competition or something.
I was gonna say the chicken competition, where they award chicken. They give chickens awards.
Yeah, one of those blue ribbons.
Yeah, but guess what happens after that?
No,
This
it's not
chicken's riding high. It's like, hey,
Hey,
all right,
I'm on
things
top
are
of the
turning
world.
around for old Camilla here, and then boom.
Camilla. I love how you immediately went to
Gonzo's
girlfriend.
Yeah. What a weird situation that was, that Gonzo dated chickens.
Yeah, and the chicken was, as far as Muppets go, very close to an actual chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the actual size of a chicken, whereas Kermit
Yeah. Was
Frog,
very big
yeah.
and could talk and had emotions and stuff.
yeah.
Camilla looked like, from behind, you would be mistaken to think she was a real chicken.
Behind.
Well, when she turned around, she had like a cartoonish Muppet
Love
face.
to watch Camilla walk away. Hate to see her leave.
I'm just saying, from behind, looked exactly like a chicken. From the front, from a distance, again, would look like a chicken. It's only until you got up close.
You've had a lot of Camilla experience, huh?
No, I'm just
From all the angles.
I'm just thinking about it. It makes sense. All right.
No, I think a common date is
Coffee?
Yeah.
Well, coffee is a type of drink.
Yeah, but that's not what you meant.
Coffee, the difference between coffee as a first date and drinks as a first date is that, like, even if the date's going smashingly, going really well, you can only drink so many coffees. And you can only sit in like a cafe for so long unless you're, writing a screenplay or something.
You can sit in a cafe. A cafe is a place where you can sit longer than anywhere else.
No, you can sit at a bar all night.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but like a cafe is like a little too busy, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or at least in New York, like I've never been to a coffee place that I've been comfortable sitting in for long periods of time. Every coffee place is extremely crowded and condensed.
Yeah.
But drinks,
I think
if something's going well,
your big city bias is showing.
drinks,
East Coast elite.
if a date's going well, you can keep it going by getting more drinks.
Right.
And then the
right,
more
right.
drinks you have, the easier talking is.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing.
No, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it is a thing. Whereas, like, once you're dating, going out for drinks is also fun, I think. But then it's like a different kind of fun, because you can like go out and get a couple of drinks, and then it's like, great, we got out, we did something. Now let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. This is going to sound weird,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like going out for drinks, just my wife and I.
No? You don't
No.
like guys looking at her?
No, I just feel like we spend so much time together. If nobody else is there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing weird to be eavesdropping on or anything, it's just like, what are we supposed to talk about?
But
We've already talked about our day at home.
Yeah.
There's not like a...
Well, you never like meet up with your wife like on a Friday, like after work, like, hey, let's meet.
We'll go to dinner.
Yeah.
Drinks, I don't know. Drinks. Well, that
I
will be a
like-
more if more people are involved.
I like occasionally doing after dinner drinks. Like, hey, we just had a nice dinner. Now we're on our way home.
Yeah.
Hey, let's stop in here.
You're not concerned that you might poop your pants at the bar?
No, Tim, because they don't put laxatives in alcohol. You would see it. It'd be cloudy.
After your dinner, maybe they put.
Look, if they
did
put
you have an
laxatives
egg
in,
dish
I
for
wouldn't. I wouldn't make it to the bar. I'm telling you how quick this acted.
Have you ever taken a laxative on your own volition?
No, I've taken Metamucil.
What's that?
That's like a fiber.
Oh.
Gets things moving, but not in a bad way, not in an uncontrollable way. It also can stop things from moving if they're moving too much.
So it just regulates your...
Yeah, just
your
like a lot of
guts?
fiber. And it tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's orange flavored.
I get all my fiber from, I don't know, bark.
What about, I'll put these two together. Bowling and or putt-putt golf, mini golf,
Yeah,
miniature golf.
I'm a mini golf man. I don't like bowling. The balls are too heavy.
Well, what if you
Let's
get one
be
of the
honest.
kids' balls?
No, let's be honest. Just lighten up the balls a little bit.
You can
bowling.
find lighter balls.
Nah, but then the finger holes are too small.
I've not been bowling in a while, but anytime I've gone bowling, I've like searched the entire alley for like one that has big enough holes for my fingers, but is incredibly lightweight that I
Yeah.
can just like throw down
Yeah.
the alley.
Yeah, I think bowling's just not either of our sport.
No. And I would actually include in this things like axe throwing, archery,
Yeah.
knife throwing, any kind of thing where you're taking turns competing.
Yes. Mini golf, I think, is ideal
Mm-hmm.
because it's goofy enough that the stakes are very low.
Right, and there's like an element. It's not as skill based as the others.
Yeah, and if you get there and you realize, oh, my date is really bad at this. Like if you're bowling or axe throwing, I feel like it's harder to throw the game or be like worse than you are to make them not feel bad
yeah.
without looking like a total dope.
Right.
Like you can't be like, I'm going to get 20% worse at axe throwing.
Yeah.
Without like putting other people in danger.
Every fifth throw, I'm just gonna let it go way too early.
Yeah.
Or something.
So putt, you can just like be like, oh no, just a little off, you know.
Too hard, a little
Yeah.
too soft.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That said, I am intensely competitive when it comes to mini golf, and have never tried to throw a game. I always try to win, and I always try to win by a lot.
Try to run up the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say any of these types of things, good, a very good early date or later date.
An early date with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
We were in her hometown,
Mm-hmm.
and she took me to like this pier that had mini golf and an arcade. Went to
I
the-
thought you were going to say she took me to this short pier and told me to take a long walk.
Well, that was the end of the night. She took me to this arcade, and I didn't really know her that well, you know?
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm a boy.
But
she's a
wait, it
girl.
was in her hometown?
Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't know her that well? That you went to her hometown in a different state?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Things
were moving really fast.
I knew her well enough to go to her hometown in a different state, but like, I didn't know her well enough not to be scared that this was some kind of a trap.
No. Here's what I didn't know. I didn't know that she was... Because she had no interest in video games whatsoever.
Right. But her high school ex-boyfriend was the guy giving out the coins. She just wanted to rub it in his face.
No. I was like, well, I'm a boy. She's a girl. Boys are good at video games. Girls don't care about video games.
Right.
But I don't care about video games, so... But I care. I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
We played so many video games, like 2 players, that she just beat the hell out of me.
Wow.
And just and after that we went to mini golf, and I was like, well, I had to absolutely crush her
Humiliate
in
her.
this. Yeah. And I won by like 5 strokes, and for like, I don't know, the next 4 years, I was like, remember that mini golf game? She really hurt my feelings by beating me at all the arcade games.
I had no idea your wife was such a nerd.
Yeah, she's a big nerd. She wears glasses now, Tom.
Does she?
Yeah, don't push her down next time. They're new. Saying, I just don't want you to
instinctually bully her.
Exactly.
Did
I know you and her have had problems in the past, and
are they matching glasses with yours? Is that what you want to make over?
No.
It's
now
like,
that I think about it,
or are we
I
gonna
think
solve
she went
a problem later where it's like my wife bought the same glasses as me?
No, I think like it didn't occur to me till you said this that I think she bought like opposite glass, like they're like clear frames and not at all in the shape of it.
They're clear frames with mirrored lenses.
Yeah, that's just because she wants to size people up.
Yeah,
She's a creep like that. All right, lightning round. Dates.
Okay, other dates.
I mean, you don't have to lightning round it.
Well, you just said okay, lightning round.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Theme parks, good early date and good later date.
I wouldn't think of a theme park as a date.
What? If the two
just
of
the
you
two
are
of you?
going,
Okay, yeah.
just the two of you.
I don't know that I've ever gone to a theme park. Just the two.
You've gone just with me.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a date.
It was nice.
Any kind of a show I feel like is not great for an early date, but good for a later date.
Lion King on Broadway.
Lion King on Broadway.
First row in Hamilton the day after Thanksgiving.
I know of people that have like invited like as a first date, and this is insane. The most insane thing I've ever heard. As a first date, been like, cool, I have an idea for our first date. Why don't you come to my improv show?
Ooh.
And people have done it.
Somebody shouldn't know that you have an improv show on the first date.
Yeah, you should keep that to yourself, let alone invite somebody.
Look, improv is good. We all like improv. Comedy?
Yeah.
Do they have improv dramatic classes?
I mean, I'm sure, like, but it's
Would
not,
you ever
it's
be
not a
like,
big
I'm
thing.
gonna go see an improvised tragedy?
No, because I think people would like revert to real things very quickly.
Yeah.
And it'd be very obvious and be like, ooh, I don't like this. Let's talk about cheap dates, Tim.
Okay. Oh. Cheap date. Hey, cheap dates with cheapskate.
I've got 5 cheap dates.
Okay. I looked up some cheap dates on the
Oh,
internet.
okay.
Yeah.
Going to the park. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, that was one that I said, but they said go to a park where you can feed the ducks. I think this
fuck
was
the ducks.
maybe the AARP magazine.
Yeah. Oh, if I was like, hey, let's go on a date, and it was like an early date with somebody, and they were like, oh, I brought stale bread to feed the ducks, I'd be like, oh, actually, I forgot I have a doctor's appointment.
And look at the dang sign, Alyssa. Like, you can't just feed the ducks. You're not supposed to feed the ducks.
Yeah, often they say don't feed the ducks.
Yeah.
But what if you want to tell somebody you're a bit of a bad boy? Second cheap date idea, going to the museum, but it can be tricky because of suggested donations. You need to tell your date,
why don't you
I'll take care of this.
And then just put
And then
$2 on the counter.
Yeah. And be like, why don't you go check out some of the exhibits they have in the lobby, and I'll get our tickets.
You should just pay for a museum if you can afford it.
Well, but these cheap dates.
Oh, right. Okay.
Watching a movie at home, but if this is a first date, no, come on.
Nah.
Don't invite
somebody
home.
into your home.
Yeah, that's
make
what
them feel
creeps do.
uncomfortable.
But people do that sometimes as a first date. Like,
Who?
Creeps. And then not even creeps, just like, I don't know, people without imaginations, I guess. They're like, come to my house.
I don't have an imagination. I've never invited a stranger to my home to watch a movie.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
Huh.
I'm glad. Because, I mean, before you were married, a lot of that time we were roommates. And if some fucking stranger showed up to watch a movie with you and had to sit in between us, I would, while I thought we were going to watch a movie, I'd be very upset.
We had a roommate at one point that had a girlfriend that frequently stayed over.
Mm-hmm.
But then he would go to bed real early.
Yeah.
We would watch movies with her.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a date. for her, I don't think.
He would consider that a date.
Exercising.
What? Shut up.
A later date, sure. Going for a run together, going to the gym together. Power walking. But again, I have heard tales of people who have gone to like an exercise class as a first date together. And I can't imagine like a worse situation.
Yeah.
Than being like, hey, we're meeting. We're going to see if we're compatible mates. I'm going to
I want to see you at your worst.
And I'm going to show you at my worst.
Yeah.
Although I guess if it works out, great.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a hulking strong man,
right,
that's great.
Yeah. But if you're anything but.
Yeah. Maybe, like if you're at the beach and you see a pretty lady with a 98-pound weakling, you kick sand in his face, you steal that lady.
And you say, hey,
she'll be like,
what
are we going to do?
Class.
And, hey, we're going to, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go over here to Muscle Beach, and you're going to watch me do pull-ups on these bars.
But that's not exercising together. That's just taking somebody's girlfriend against their will and making them watch it.
No, that's the thing. The hunk.
After they see what a weakling.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then my last one, again, not a good early date, but making dinner together. Making like a nice dinner together.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
In New York, that's hard because kitchens are small.
Right.
My kitchen currently is so small that every time.
How small is it?
Every time. This is not a punchline, but every time my wife and I have to be in there to make something at the same time,
you have to wait in the refrigerator.
We almost get a divorce. We get so mad at each other
because you get in the way.
There's not enough room to do anything.
Yeah.
It's infuriating, but yeah, in a perfect world. What about like a cooking class?
Oh yeah, sure, but that's not a cheap date.
You make gnocchi together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be nice.
But it's not a cheap date.
My wife and I took knife skills at a thing one time.
Yeah, it's gonna come up in court one day.
Here's what a couple different websites suggested for a cheap date. Build a fire.
Well, sure.
Marie Claire said, pretend one of you knows what you're doing and grab some wood and matches to light up a bonfire on the beach. It's perfect for cooler nights when it's totally not freezing outside. And then Thought Catalog says,
what a horrible idea. Pretend one of you knows. If neither of you know what you're doing
fine.
You go to a cold beach, you're going to wind up getting into a fight.
Yeah.
If somebody invited me on a date and they were like, hey, I'm going to go make a bonfire. And then once we got there, they were like, ooh, I don't know how to do it. I'd be like, well, what the hell? Why'd you invite me out here? It's freezing.
Yeah. Well, Thought Catalog said, this is free and hands down the best date ever.
Also, like everywhere, it's illegal to make bonfires on beaches.
That's not true, you coward. Maybe, but how often is it enforced?
Right.
What are they going to do, arrest you?
Yeah.
For having fun on the beach on a date? Be like, hey, officer, hey, what are you doing? What are you trying to do here?
Hey, I'm trying to make my move.
Yeah. We're going to sit by the fire, and I was going to, I don't know. That would be very, very bad for me, because I don't know how to do anything. I would just fail at building a fire.
Right. So you wouldn't ask your wife to come out in the first place.
I mean, she knows that I'd be bad at building a fire.
Right.
She'd be able to do
it. Yeah, so she wouldn't go in the first.
Yeah.
She'd be like,
I wouldn't
what?
ask my wife to do anything. She tells me what to do, right?
Yeah.
That's not true. How dare you tell me?
Was that your only cheap date idea?
No. I've said a bunch of them.
You said one.
No, drink until you black out.
That's, again, not cheap.
Go to Walgreens or CVS and don't buy anything. It's bright and colorful.
Jesus Christ.
Go to a park where you can feed the ducks.
Again, breaking the rules. A lot of your dates involve breaking rules.
Yeah. Tom, what about a ghost tour?
Yeah.
I was hoping you would talk for like 15 minutes. And I
Well,
could
no, I'm
go to
just
the
blown
bathroom.
away. I wish somebody took me on a date to a ghost tour.
It's the way to your heart.
Oh, God, yeah. It's the way to my spine where you'll send tingles up and down it from all the frights. I've actually been meaning to take my girlfriend on a ghost tour.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd be thrilled.
She would be thrilled, Tim. She likes ghosts.
She's very polite. I'll give her that.
She's not always polite to me. She
Yeah,
would
I
tell me
know.
if she wanted to go on a ghost
But
tour.
she would understand when something is important to you and
Yeah,
not yucky or yum.
right. No, she likes ghosts too. That's one of the things
I
we
don't know that
bond
she likes
over.
ghosts.
Look, sometimes girls like ghosts, Tim. And it's
I don't
fine.
know. I'm
It's
gonna ask her
normal.
the next time I see her how she feels about
Hey, you
ghosts.
like ghosts?
And she just kind of be like, I've come to expect this. this line of questioning. Hanging out with Tom for a while, yeah. You're gonna have to answer questions like this from random idiots.
Just somebody asking if I like ghosts without any preamble.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. It's a website.
Yeah, it's full of date ideas. Hey, listen to an episode of the show together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a date.
Yeah.
That's a free date.
TCGTE and chill, right? That's
Yeah.
what I say.
Uh-huh.
Friend us on Facebook.
Facebook.com/Complete Guide. You can follow us on Twitter @Complete Guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim.
If you want to support the show, check out tcgt.com/Amazon for your Amazon shopping and patreon.com/Complete Guide for our secondary podcast called Books the Podcast. This week we are wrapping up a book called Holes that Tim's reading and telling me about.
It's a good book.
Well, spoilers.
I liked the children's book. It was easy to read.
If you sign up there, you get the back catalog of books and a few other Patreon exclusive podcasts. Once again, patreon.com/Complete Guide. And hey, if you're a patron, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
If you want to go on a date with Tom, what do you do?
You can't because I'm taken, baby. Unless you got like tickets to a ghost tour, and then I'll figure out an alibi. Yeah. I'll figure out an excuse. I think
your girlfriend would be like, "Hey, you know what? You can go if it's a ghost tour."
I think I
don't
told
have to
her
go.
if
Go
I
with
told
whoever you
her
wanna go
no,
with.
she would want to go. She'd be mad, but I think she would also understand. Like, hey, it's not every day you get offered a free ghost tour to go on.
Yeah.
So you might as well take advantage of it.
Oh, so somebody would take you?
Yeah.
Would pay for you?
Yeah. I'm not gonna take somebody else on a ghost
What
tour.
if what if you went Dutch? We didn't talk about any of that.
Going Dutch?
Yeah, about,
Just paying for yourself?
yeah, or just how that stuff works.
I don't know. Sometimes
Navigating
you do
that
it,
in
sometimes you don't.
2020 is a landmine, Tom.
Yeah. My approach to it is especially I don't know. It's like a thing that's nice to do occasionally, but for the most part, people should split things.
Tom, why don't you check your privilege?
What?
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know what that means.
I feel like
heard it
whenever,
earlier.
whenever that kind of topic comes up, somebody always says to check your privilege, so it might as well be
What?
me.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. About like who should pay and.
What, is a privilege to pay or a privilege to not
I don't
pay?
know. I don't understand. I don't understand anything. I'm confused by the modern world.
All right. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.